Okay, here are our math dailies, number 24, week number 24, day 3. So in box 1, we are comparing two fractions, 5/10 and 3/6. Now, you may automatically notice the correlation between these two, but we're going to walk through the steps just to make sure. So one thing you can do is draw a picture. And so I tried to draw two rectangles similar in size. It was kind of hard, but I tried to make them pretty similar. I divided this one into tenths and this one into sixths. And if we color in 5/10 and 3/6, we see that they are each equal to 1/2. We've colored in 1/2 of the rectangle. So we find out that they are equal. But if you weren't sure of that, if you didn't want to draw a picture or you wanted a different way to find it out, we would need to make our denominators the same in order to compare them. And so we talked about with 10 and 100, you can say, well, how many 10s are in 100? And you can multiply by 10. 10 times 10 is 100. So you might think, well, I could do that with this. 6 will fit into 10. Well, it doesn't fit in evenly. And so you have to think of another way to make them the same. Well, one thing you can do is multiply the two numbers together. So we could say 60. We want to make both of them into a fraction with 60 on the bottom. So because 10 times 6 is 60. So 10 times 6 would be 60. And 5 times 6 is 30. So this could be written as 30/60ths. And then 6 times 10 is 60. So then we have to do the same thing to the top. 3, oh, wait. No. Yes. Yes, that's right. 3 times 10 is 30. I was thinking I messed up. So they would both be equal to 30/60ths. These we had to both multiply by 6, these both by 10, so that you can see that they are equal. If your numbers on the bottom are really big, you could do a different thing. I'll just show you this really quickly. Hopefully it's not going to confuse anybody. But because they're both even numbers, well, I said we won't do that right now. But you can just multiply these two, 10 times 6. We know that we can get them to be the same denominator when you multiply the two together. So 10 times 6 is 60, 5 times 6 is 30. Then 6 times 10 is 60, 3 times 10 is 30. And we get them both 60s, and we see the top numbers are the same, so it makes them equal. We'll do the other way another time. Okay, then next we have our division problem. 342 divided by 6. So we know 6 won't fit into 3, but it will fit in 34. We can get close to that with a 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we have 4. 4 is smaller than 6. Then we bring down our 2. And 6 fits into 42. 7 times 6 is 42. And we have 0. This is definitely smaller than our divisor. So we have no remainder and nothing left to bring down. So our answer is 57. Okay, at the bottom, I have put day 3, or box 3, I'm sorry. Box 3, 32 100ths. And again, this is like what we're doing in our math book. Because you have 2 zeros, you can imagine that you're going to start at the end of the number and go over 2 places, and that's where your decimal is going to go. So 32 out of 100 is the same as 0.32 or decimal 32. And you can put the 0 in front just to show that there's no whole numbers, it's just a fraction or part of a number. Okay, then our last one, we have a word problem. The Rossi family ate 1/3 of cheese pizza and 2/3 of a vegetarian pizza. How much total pizza did the Rossi family eat? So we simply have to add the two fractions together. 1/3 of the cheese plus 2/3 of the vegetarian, and that should give us our answer. Because they both have 3 for their denominator, then all we have to do is add the top. 3. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then we keep our denominator 3. And then we see that 3/3 is the same as one whole pizza. So let's say, let's draw our two pieces. Oh, okay, that one's not very good at all. They ate 1/3 of this pizza and 2/3 of this pizza. Well, if we moved this over to there, it would make 3/3 or one whole pizza.